Welcome, everyone. I'm Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and I want to thank you for joining me in this episode on some pretty neat coin stuff. Before we get started, if this is your first time, welcome. And of course, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and smack that bell for instant notifications so that way you get the first dibs on the new videos as they're being uploaded. So I want to thank everyone for all the views and support on my channel. Let's go ahead and get started. And today we're going to talk about the top 10 modern dollar coin errors worth a ton of money. To put it into perspective for you, the lowest price coin on my top 10 list is $1,800, and it only goes up from there. There are a few coins that probably you won't ever find in circulation. I'll just be straight up honest because of what they are and how radical these errors are. But there are a couple coins on the list that have been found in circulation, and you'll see exactly what we're looking at here momentarily. But the thing that you want to keep in mind when you're out there trying to find coins at the bank is that dollar coins see very little fringe searching. Not a lot of people like to touch this stuff for a myriad of reasons. It could be that one reason is, well, it's a high face value. So it seems like you're obligated to buy $500 or $1,000. And to some people, they just don't see the value. All right, and it's a real shame because there's a lot of these gold dollars and Susan B. Anthony's still available at the banks in bags and rolls and you name it. They're out there and the banks can't get rid of them. So it is a prime kind of opportunity, all right? It's an opportunity with very little cost associated with it when you figure just paying for the gas. As long as you have the money to buy these coins, then you are in great shape, all right? So the first coin I wanted to talk about, we're going to start off with the least expensive coin, this one right here for $1,800. Naturally, this one is a great fit on the list because this is an example of a coin that was discovered in change, whether it came out of a vending machine or it was bought at the bank or maybe you received it as a tip. It doesn't matter. This coin was hidden in plain view and not a lot of people knew about it. It's a 2010 presidential dollar coin. This one is the Abe Lincoln coin. All right, so this particular example right here, what makes this one so incredibly valuable is that it has the missing edge lettering. All right, it wasn't struck up onto the edge. And as you guys know, on these presidential dollar coins, the motto, the date, and the mint mark are all imprinted on the edge of the coin. This one has none of that. So Abe Lincoln is one of the most widely collected presidents on its own. So that's why this particular coin is worth so much money. You have a coin that or a president that's very well collected, and then you have this error that just typically does not exist on this particular president right here. Then you have something that's worth a lot of money. Okay, even more miraculous, this coin graded PCGS genuine AU details, and they also noted machine damage. You could see the roller marks on the obverse of the coin, and it's a real shame. All right, but at the same time, it's a heck of a find. It sold for $1,800 on Great Collections, January 28th of 2018. This is a marvelous example of what can be discovered in these bags and rolls. So the next coin I wanted to talk about here is another presidential dollar coin. This is a 2007 John Adams. This one, of course, is missing the edge lettering as notated in the slab label, which you'll see here momentarily. But this is probably an example of a coin that you won't really see in circulation. Okay, this was probably discovered in a sealed mint bag. This one was struck five times, and then you have something that is as visually dramatic as it is rare and valuable. So each independent strike, aside from the first one, is between 40 and 85% offset. So you'll have one that's 40%, another one that's 55, 65, and then the last one 85%. And then there you go. You have a modern work of art sitting in front of you. So this one graded PCGS Mint State 60, and it sold on Great Collections August 26th of 2012 for $2,261.11. So that's another fine example of a coin that exists somewhere. The next coin that we have here is another presidential coin. You're going to see quite a few of these on the list, but this is a 2015 Dwight Eisenhower. Okay, again, another very well collected president. The coin on itself was never released into circulation. These were only a mint purchased item only, okay, where the mint program used to be that, hey, you buy $1,000 face of these coins, and I think you only had to pay shipping. All you had to do was circulate it. All right, so they did have this circulation program, but these were not directly released into circulation. So what makes this one so special? Well, it's a president that doesn't have a lot of the missing edge lettering errors that's associated with it. It's actually very rare to find, which is why this coin sold for a lot of money. It did grade out PCGS Mint State 63. The coin on its, based off of what it looks like, has endured some nicks and scratches and that sort of thing, whether it was in a mint bag or it did circulate for a little bit. But this coin right here is sold on Great Collections January 28th of 2018 for $3,375. These not intended for circulation dollar coins, you definitely need to keep an eye out. These are very underrated right now, not only by themselves, but if you're able to find one with a nice error like a missing edge lettering on a president that you don't see too many of those, then you have a coin that's worth many thousands of dollars. The seventh coin on the list here is going to be a 2007D. This one is a George Washington. It's missing the edge lettering as well, as notated on the slab label. This one was double struck, both off center. Okay, so both other strikes are off center. You have all of this real estate in between each strike, which gives a very dramatic looking error type on here. The first strike was 50% off center. The second strike is 80% off center. This one graded PCGS Mint State 64, and this one sold for $3,960 on Great Collections September 23rd of 2012. So the final Great Collections coin that I wanted to talk about is another neat one. I talked about this one a few days ago on a separate video, but I revisited this for this particular video, and it's a 2007D Sacagawea dollar. Okay, and the thing that's most incredible about this coin, other than the fact that it came out of pocket change or circulation, is that it was a PCGS graded Mint State 62. It looks like just a regular dollar coin. Okay, it's completely oblivious to a lot of people that there is an error on this coin that wasn't intended to be there. And this one has the edge lettering, and guess what? It wasn't supposed to have that. So because you have a coin that wasn't supposed to have the edge lettering, you have a coin that is worth $17,161.10. Not only is it worth that, but it's sold for that on Great Collections July 15th of 2012. The grade is a PCGS Mint State 62, and as you could tell, it's passed through many hands. All right, it probably bought McDonald's at one time. That's how incredibly rare this coin is, until one person picked it up, looked at the edge, and hit some serious pay dirt. It's incredible. So we have 5 other coins, all coming from Heritage Auctions, that I wanted to share with you. The first one that we have here is a 1979D Susan B. Anthony that was overstruck on a 1978D Roosevelt dime. This thing is amazing. Again, you have the combination of both coins struck together. There's a few things that kind of pop out on this coin that is really miraculous. Okay, first of all, you have some pretty sharp reading on there. It's funny how it just kind of shows up. All right. Aside from that, you could see all of the devices from both coins kind of mutated together to give you this freak of nature piece of art right here. But this coin right here is graded NGC Mint State 66, and this one sold for $11,750. April 29th of 2016. Pretty crazy, ladies and gentlemen. The next one, not to be outdone, this one is just spooky weird. It's a 1979 P. This is a narrow rim Susan B. Anthony dollar. Okay, this one was struck on a 1978 Washington quarter, and you can actually see the date on there. It's crazy. So you got two different dates on one coin, but just the combination of the design elements from both coin types really make this one stand out. It's a great conversation piece. This one graded NGC Mint State 66, and this one, guys, sold for $14,100 April 29th of 2016. So if you think that's all we have for you, we got three other coins that are just as representative of the coins of this list. It's a 1999 P Susan B. Anthony, so it's one of the tougher dates. You don't traditionally see a lot of 1999 dated Susan B. Anthonys, but they are out there. This one, however, got the attention of some searcher as it was minted on one of the new manganese alloy planchets that was intended for the new Sacagawea dollar in the year 2000. So call it an experimental strike of sorts. We do know that they experimented with those new planchets on other coin types like the quarter and the Susan B. Anthony. This one right here graded PCGS Mint State 64, and it sold for $16,100 January 5th of 2006. Sorry, I didn't want to confuse you. The next coin right here is amazing. I love this one. This one right here is a 2007 George Washington presidential dollar. This one right here is a double denomination, and it was struck on a Jefferson nickel. Much like the two Susan B. Anthonys I talked about further down the list, this coin right here is pretty amazing. It's something that you don't traditionally see, but it will pop up when you least expect it. Double denomination coins certainly do exist in circulation, so you'll want to keep an eye out for something like this. This one graded PCGS Mint State 64, and this one sold for $17,625 January 6th of 2016. And of course, you can't do a list like this without talking about the last and final coin on the list. And it is, of course, guys, if you haven't guessed by now, it's the 2000p Sacagawea dollar that was muled with the obverse of a statehood quarter. All right, there you go. This is a coin right here that exists in so few numbers, and this was probably produced as a godchild to all of the experimental strikes that they did in 1999. There's just no way to kind of describe why this coin even exists, but it is extremely rare. It is one of the most valuable modern coins to date, even eclipsing some of the other incredible other rarities, like the 1968 proof Roosevelt dime with no mint mark, or the 69S double die obverse Lincoln cent. You know, this coin eclipsed both very handsomely. But this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 66 that sold for $88,125 January 10th of 2013. This is a listing that a lot of you probably already know about and has lived in infamy as being one of the top 10 modern era coins ever. And that's it, guys. That's your top 10 list of amazing era coins in the dollar coin series. As you can see, it's well within reason to find a few of these. As evidence on the list, there have been a few that were found, graded, or authenticated, and then sold for a boatload of money. So it's time to get searching. If you're tired of going through pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and halves, try some of the dollar coins, and you'd be pleasantly surprised at what's actually out there. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. This represents less than 1% of some of the most amazing finds that you can find in dollar coins today. So I want to thank you guys for joining on this video. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for instant notifications, and I thank you guys for watching. You guys keep hunting, enjoy the hobby, and I'll see you next time for more treasures.